Salesforce Spacestation.
Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome to another episode of Arnold Space Station. As part of this episode, we're going to have a look at one of our many different partners, Conga, and one of their products called Conga Sign. Now, a lot of businesses out there might need to send a contract, whether that's a sales contract or anything else, to go ahead and get signed off from the customer. And as a result, that sign off, we can automate that to close off one of your opportunities that's related to. And of course, if there's any other automation, you can certainly set that up, but I'm going to show you how you can close off an opportunity using CongaSign. So once you've logged into Salesforce, we need to ensure that you have CongaSign installed. Now, CongaSign is a third-party Salesforce AppExchange product. You can find it by clicking on the 9 dots or the app launcher, clicking View All, and then clicking on Visit AppExchange. This is then going to go ahead and load up a AppExchange pop-up, and in here we are going to search for Conga. And Conga has a variety of products that allow you to do a multitude of things inside Salesforce. But as part of this session, we're going to have a look at Conga Sign. Now, remember, Conga Sign is a paid product. So if you do want to use it, you can go ahead and within the AppExchange itself, have a look at some contact information, or you can send them an email to find out a little bit more about their exact pricing per user based on your organization and, of course, the type of business you are. They do offer discounts for non-profits. So now that we've navigated to the Conga Sign application, I am going to go ahead and click Get Now. And what this is going to do is it's going to essentially ask me to log into the AppExchange. So I'm going to click in and say Open Login Page. And it is going to ask me to log in if I do not have an AppExchange profile created properly. So now that it has, in fact, picked up that I do have an AppExchange profile and a Trailblazer profile, it'll now give me the option to either install this third-party application via the App Store into this org or a sandbox. So because this is my demo org, I'm going to go ahead and install it here. But best practice is to test and trial this out in a sandbox. Or if you've got a developer org, you can just install it in that developer org. So once I click install, it's going to have a few different items that it's going to present to me. So in here, it's going to say that the subscription is a free trial for 30 days, and it's going to provide up to 10 subscribers, which means 10 licenses. This is some of the information that gets put in based on what you have set up on your Trailblazer profile. I'm going to go ahead and accept the terms and conditions, and I'm going to confirm and install. Now, on the next screen, it's going to ask me, do you only want to install this for admins, all users, or into specific profiles? If you are testing this out, you can install for all users. Otherwise, only install it for admins, and then you can provide access to this particular application via a license and a permission set feature. Because I'm installing this in dev, I'm going to just install for all users. It is going to advise me that there are some third-party websites that are essentially going to be able to send and receive some of the data. And these websites are dedicated servers that are used by Conga to do some of the processing. Now, remember, this is a CongaSignature piece, so it is going to use a third-party server that they have to be able to actually send out the signature from there and relay it back into Salesforce. So we're just going to wait now till this installation completes. In some cases, it can be really quick. In other cases, if it is a sandbox or something like that, it may take up to 15 minutes, maybe even longer. Great. So I've just got an email advising me that that package has in fact installed successfully. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to allocate a license, and I am also going to allocate a permission set to my particular user as a result in the event it hasn't properly added in. To do this, I'm going to navigate to the back end by clicking on the setup or cogwheel and entering setup. Once you're in setup, to find any managed or third-party packages that you may have installed from the AppExchange, click on Quick Find and search for Install. And under Packaging, click on Installed Packages. Now, once we're in here, we can in fact see that there is a brand new CongaSign package name, and it does have an uninstall button alongside a configure and a manage license button as well. So I'm going to click on manage licenses, and I'm going to make sure I have in fact been assigned this license. Perfect. So as you can see, it had 10 allowed licenses, and currently we're using one. It's currently on trial. It's going to expire on that particular date based on 30 days. So now that I can see this, in fact, has been assigned to me as a license, I'm going to click on configure, and we're going to have a look and see if there's anything that we need to take into consideration. Again, with CongaSign, you can select your region. You can have a profile set up where it'll go ahead and add these user permissions to that particular profile. You need to make sure that you do have the ability to modify all data as an admin. And of course, you need to have the API enabled. Now with Conga, because it's a third-party application and it uses an eSignature tool, we need to connect this to make sure that there is in fact an OAuth setup. So I'm going to click connect. And yes, it is going to connect me to the Australian server to make sure all the data that I have within Australia, of course, stays within Australia. Now, in some cases, you may get this particular error. That's okay, just try it again. Awesome. So as you can see, I closed a tab. I just went back to the previous window, click connect, and that is now connected. Now, it does have this really cool feature where you can have an automatic configuration. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to kind of pre-set up Conga in a very, very basic way for you to send out e-signatures to customers as part of a contract or as part of an NDA or an acknowledgement of some sort. So as part of this use case, we are in fact looking at the opportunity object. So I'm going to select the opportunity object and I'm going to select next. Again, this is just for the basic setup. Now, we can choose to then make this available to specific profiles only. I'm going to scroll all the way down and just make sure it is available for system admin. While we are running this test, you may have to go back and ensure it is available to all profiles because that button will be hidden. So that's doing a basic initial configuration. It's not going to give you all the bells and whistles that you want, but it is going to allow for a button to appear on the opportunity and then actually allow you to place it on the opportunity. So in here, it's essentially gone ahead and advised me that these are all the different page layouts. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look at the page layout assignment and see which one is assigned to my profile so I can add it to the right one. So this is system administrator. So I'm going to go into the basic opportunity layout. And once I'm in here, if I go to mobile and lightning actions, in here, you will notice there is a button created called Send with Conga. So I'm going to drag that and drop it. Now you might notice that we've switched to Salesforce Classic. That may happen every now and then. There are some packages and some settings that third parties and of course Salesforce as well are working towards as part of the entire Lightning migration piece. So if you do see this, don't freak out. Just go ahead and add the button onto the opportunity layout, click save, and that will ensure that that button does in fact show up on the opportunity. So now that we've added this button, I'm going to go to the front end of Salesforce and just double check that I can in fact see this button on an opportunity. So I'm going to go to opportunities. If you can't see it in the tabs and you're a system admin, just type in OPP. And that should allow you to open up opportunities. I'm going to select all opportunities and I'm just going to go to anyone that's here. And you'll now notice I put that button first. So as a result, we can see that send with CongaSign button. Now, CongaSign has its own object and or data model. So the second thing that we actually need to do on the opportunity page layout, if I go back to opportunity page layouts and go to the opportunity layout, is there will be a related list. And this related list will be called Conga Sign transactions. All I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it. I'm going to make it the first available related list component in my related list. Click save, and yes, please update it. And we're going to refresh the front end Lightning page to make sure that we can see that component. Awesome. So now what we've done is we've essentially gone ahead and set up Conga Sign to work in a very, very basic way. The next step is we need to go ahead and create some automation so we can close off an opportunity once a customer signs a document. So I'm going to go back to opportunities. I am going to pick an opportunity that isn't closed. So I'm going to look for the close date where possible. There are a lot of opportunities here all the way to 2020. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new one just for the purposes of this particular segment. So now that I've created it, I'm just going to put Conga Sign test. Of course, as always, make sure you name your opportunity correctly. I'm going to put in a close date of tomorrow. I'm going to put in the client's name as out in the clouds, and that's all the basic information that I need to put in. I'm just going to say web. The type is a new customer. I'm going to put the stage as it is in negotiation and review at this point in time. And I'm going to go ahead and click save. So now that I've saved it, best practice, as you guys know, if you have products available, make sure you add a product so you get the amount. So when the opportunity does automatically close, it will go ahead and properly attribute that amount as part of your forecast. So I'm just going to add a SLA for gold, and I'm going to put a quantity of 1. It's 30 grand. And I'm going to click save. So now we've got our amount updated. If I go to the details tab, we can certainly see some more information. Now, the way that we are going to set up this automation to work from the opportunity is via this related object. It's called Conga Sign transactions. Now, if you had to just go and click on the new button, it will give you a pop-up. And in here, it's got sender's name, email, business unit, so on and so forth. The field that we are going to use is the status field to identify if the customer has signed or no. That's because when you create a Conga Sign transaction, it leaves it in draft status. Once you send it to the customer, it updates it to a sent status. And then once the customer or all the people that need to sign that document have signed it, it moves to a complete status. So we're going to set up a process builder to do this from the Conga Sign transaction object, that when a status of a Conga Sign transaction goes to complete, it is then going to update the related opportunity and make it closed won. So in order for us to do this, I'm going to close any other tabs that we have open because we don't need to go back into them. I'm going to click on the setup or cogwheel and go into setup again. And this time, once setup loads, under the home tab in quick find, I'm going to search for process builder. And there's process builder. So now that process builder is loading, I need to remember best practice always is to give it a name, process name, and then of course a description. So I'm going to click on new. I'm then going to call this a Conga Sign process. And again, remember, one process per object to make sure that there is no misalignment. Used for the end-to-end Conga Sign transaction object. And it's related automations. Cool. Now that I've saved that and I've given it a bit of a description to help me, I then go ahead and add and select the object. So now because Conga Sign has gone ahead and installed itself, it created this object, I'm now going to look for that Conga Sign transaction object. And this time I want to look at it for both when the record is created and edited, because in most cases, the record is going to be edited, which is when it will update the opportunity. So I'm going to click save. Now for this, we're not doing something that's, totally left the field or anything like that. We're going to put in a simple criteria when the status. So I'm going to search for the field status. Of course, it equals complete. Then just run it. Now, best practice is always to ensure that the status is in fact changed. This way, if there is any other automation or any other criteria, it doesn't go ahead and update it. As an example, it might update the opportunity close date again because it's set to closed one. That can happen. I'm going to give this criteria a name, and it has to be set to complete, and it has to be changed. So I'm going to click save. I'm then going to go ahead and add an action. And as part of this action, I'm going to update records. And I am going to say update related opti to closed one. So in the record type, I'm going to select a related object. And if I click on this related object piece, if I keep scrolling down, I'll see a whole bunch of fields we couldn't necessarily see on the page layout, but because in the setup, I selected the opportunity object, it has created a opportunity field or a lookup to the opportunity. And this is what we are going to use. And again, as you can see, it starts off with parent 006, which tells us that is an opportunity. So on the opportunity, we are going to update the stage, and we are going to set the stage to closed one. Now, again, as part of Process Builder, this could be one of many different actions that you set up. So you can set up multiple actions, but in this case, and as part of this episode, we're only going to have a look at setting up one action. So now that I have set up this action to update the related opportunity close one, I am going to go ahead and activate this Process Builder. Now that I've activated the Process Builder, I can go back to the front end, and I am going to test a Conga Sign transaction. So I'm going to select Send with Conga Sign. And once I do, it is going to give me or load up a brand new page. On this page, it is going to ask me to upload files because there are no files related to the opportunity. So I'm going to upload the file. I have created a test file in here from my computer. I've just called it CongaSign template. Now, what you need to ensure when you are in fact creating a CongaSign file, that it is a PDF for it to be able to send out, unless you're using the entire Conga suite. And there are ways for that, whatever format that you're using, Word or PowerPoint or Excel, to then spit it out as a PDF. Cool, so I've found my file. I'm going to click open, and that's going to upload the file into the Salesforce opportunity. And it's also going to allow for Conga to use that file to have the signature placed on there. Now, in this case, you can add multiple recipients. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and see if it does have Arnold in here. Yes, it does. So Arnold spacestation. I'm going to select that. Now, we have a signing order. If you've got multiple people signing, you can ensure that it has to go through a specific order, and whatever order that is set up. So in the event I had 2 contacts, and you can set up leads and users as well for it to go to. From a recipient point of view, all you have to do is reorder them, and that goes ahead and changes the order. You can set multiple people as well. In terms of recipients, they can be a signer that signs it digitally, someone that signs it in person, and then also someone that just receives the transaction once it is signed, and they receive a copy of that particular doc or contract or NDA. Now in here, you've got some additional items that you can set up. I usually don't. The Conga transactions usually expire after 5 days. And that's a long enough period for someone to be able to look at their emails and actually read the document and sign it. So now that we've selected our file, we've selected who this signature needs to be carried out by, I'm going to click preview and tag. And this is going to allow me to view the document and actually place some of these tags in there. So we do have some signing tags already that we have placed in some of our documents, and some hidden tags. If you are worried about where you can find some of these sign tags, you can certainly go to Conga support, and they have a knowledge article on there, which I'll have a link further down the bottom in this video for you guys to check out. And that's where you can put some of those tags. If the tags are already there, you can certainly move them around to make sure they are in fact in the right place. So I'm going to move some of these around. Now we've only got one signer. We have of course set up tags for two signers. So I'm going to say in this case only the client is signing. This is just a mock-up document from out in the clouds. And this is a Conga tag that allows us to pre-populate things if you did in fact use Conga Composer or one of the other Conga suites. So we've got our name that has already been set. And again, you can drag and drop if you need to. You can place the name in multiple places throughout the document if you need to. You've got company information, email, title, and the signed date. You can also put in some attachments if required as a result and allow people to attach things. Now, this information is actually, if it's the name, it's the full name from the contact. If it is the signature, it's whatever they sign. And the signed date is the date that the transaction has been complete. That means they have signed it and completed the signing transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and click send now. And it's going to tell me the transaction was successfully sent. And in a couple of moments, it's going to take me back to where I was, which is the opportunity. And you'll now notice there is a CongaSign transaction created and the status is sent. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the actual email that I've received, and I'm going to show you guys what the link looks like so you guys can see how CongaSign looks. Great. So this is the email that's come through. I can go ahead and reassign if I want to, and there's an audit trail that we can certainly check to see who's opened it, from which IP address, and you can essentially monitor or track where this document has gone if anyone's forwarded on to anyone. So I'm going to click on View Document, and this is going to load up a brand new tab. And as a result of this brand new tab, I need to agree to the terms and conditions. Of course, this is an electronic record and signature disclosure. It is legally bounding. As we scroll down, you'll now notice it has gone ahead and pre-filled in the name, Arnold Space Station. I can edit this name a little bit if I wanted to. If there was a spelling mistake or something. It's just going to make sure it's going to be correct for the contract. It's gone ahead and put today's date because it's assuming that I'm signing today. And if I click signature, I can pick from one of the styles that are available, or I can click on additional styles. I can draw it myself. So I can certainly draw whatever I like using my mouse pad, or if I've got an iPad, I can do it on there. And as a result, I can put in an initial as well. I'm going to adopt this signature for this particular transaction to show you guys as an example. And once I have signed, up the top right-hand corner, there is a complete signing button. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say all signatures are complete. A confirmation email has been sent. So now I will get a confirmation email with the actual document in there. So if I go back to my emails, I will receive an email in a moment from Conga. In some cases, it can take up to 30 seconds, sometimes a little bit longer. It just depends on the server load. But that has just come through. And in here, it has said the signing has been complete. It's added the document. And to that signature, there is a link. If I click on that link, I get a full history of the exact transaction, which email address opened it, what are the IP addresses, the dates and times they were opened. Beautiful. So now that I've signed that, I'm going to go back into Salesforce, and this is the opportunity that we had that said CongaSign test. And straight away, you'll notice the stage says closed one. If I go into the opportunity, and if we have a look, the status is set to complete. And if I scroll down further, it tells me that it was updated just now to complete automatically because the signature was complete, the signing transaction was complete. So that's how easy it can be for you guys to set up some automation to have an e-signature platform that you guys might send an NDA or a contract or a quote out to actually close an opportunity and subsequently create additional automations where required. Again, if there was an automation that I'd set up on the opportunity, if we have a look at Process Builder, we have a look at all the processes, and I go to the active process. In here on opportunity closed one, the account status gets updated to active. And of course, the opportunity welcome email sent is true, and it does send an email. So as a result of the cascading process builder from one object to another, if I go to this client name and have a look at the details, if I keep scrolling down, I don't have the status field displayed on here anymore. Oh no, there it is. We've got the status that's been set to active, and you can see that was updated at 9:31 today as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you like it. Also, please don't forget to go ahead and share this with anyone that you think might benefit from it, especially all those brand new up and coming Salesforce gurus. And as always, you can find some more episodes right here.